Flaxseed and flaxseed oil, they don't do anything. Only fish oil and algae oil with long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, they provide the health benefits. I hear statements like this all the time. They often come from people who sound very scientific, but who also happen to have close ties to omega-3 supplement manufacturers. I have no connections to any manufacturer. So today I want to give you an honest and balanced look at why plant-based omega-3 sources like flaxseed, but also flaxseed oil, truly matter for your health. This video is not meant to downplay the importance of long-chain omega-3 fatty acids from fish or algae oil. Instead, the goal is to give you the full picture and to connect the dots, to connect the missing puzzle pieces without exaggerating or dismissing any product. So let's get started right after a quick intro. Stay tuned for more. My name is Dr. Fabian Mutter. I hold a PhD in biochemistry. I'm a German scientist and founder of Salventrix, dedicated to close the knowledge gap between science and your daily nutrition. And if you're interested in high quality, science-based nutrition facts, then don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel. Now back to the topic. Plant-based omega-3 sources are surprisingly affordable. Flaxseed in particular costs very little. Walnuts are slightly more expensive, but still pretty cheap, and high-quality flaxseed oil costs a few euros or dollars, but compared to supplements, even good flaxseed oil is inexpensive. Now there is one issue with that. Most plant foods contain only the short-chain omega-3 fatty acid alpha-linolenic acid, or short ALA. ALA must first be converted into the long-chain omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA, which then perform many important functions in the body. Now, the problem is this conversion is not very efficient, and because of that, some people conclude that overall plant-based omega-3 sources are pointless. But we need to take a closer look at the data. And if you've previously believed flaxseed or flaxseed oil isn't necessary, consider this video maybe as an invitation to rethink that position. And now let's start by looking at inflammation. Dozens of studies now show that regular consumption of flaxseed or flaxseed oil reduces inflammatory markers in the blood, including, for example, CRP, C-reactive protein, or IL-6, interleukin-6. Since chronic inflammation plays a major role in many modern diseases, reducing inflammation is extremely important. After only a few weeks of regular flaxseed intake, studies report reductions in inflammatory markers of around 10 to 20%. And what's especially interesting, these effects likely only come partly from ALA itself. They are also strongly linked to fiber and plant compounds called lignans. Flaxseed contains exceptionally high levels of lignans, roughly 100 times more than most other plants. Lignans are also found in unfiltered flaxseed oil, while filtered flaxseed oil contains only very little. The reason for that is simple. The lignans and fiber remain in the press residue of the oil. And this brings us to an important point I cannot emphasize enough. We focus far too much on single nutrients. Flaxseed and flaxseed oil are very often reduced only to their short-chain omega-3 content. Other beneficial compounds, like the lignans, like the fiber, they are totally ignored. In my opinion, that is a mistake, and it's potentially a costly one for long-term health. One large analysis showed that higher intake of ALA from natural sources reduces overall mortality risk and the risk of cardiovascular disease. For every additional gram of ALA consumed per day, cardiovascular risk decreased by about 5%. And that's impressive, truly impressive, but not surprising, honestly. Omega-rich foods are generally whole, natural, health-promoting foods. Choosing ALA-rich foods often means choosing healthier dietary patterns overall. Are there more benefits? Yes, absolutely. Animal studies and also smaller clinical trials in human suggest improved insulin sensitivity and more stable blood sugar levels, particularly with flaxseed rather than flaxseed oil. And again, the reason for that is likely the fiber and lignans. They likely play a major role alongside the omega-3 fatty acids. For similar reasons, flaxseed may also contribute to cancer prevention. There is promising research, especially regarding colorectal cancer and breast cancer. Again, mainly from cell studies, from animal research, but also from smaller human trials. Postmenopausal women in particular may benefit regarding breast cancer risk. However, it's important to stay balanced here. The evidence base is still limited and large long-term studies are missing and unlikely to come. Because simply inexpensive foods rarely attract major research funding. Okay, but now how can you practically include plant-based omega-3 sources in your daily diet? It's actually very simple. Maybe a lot simpler than you actually thought. You can add 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil to oatmeal or yogurt, for example. You can sprinkle a spoonful of flaxseed over a salad. The key point here is flaxseed should be ground. Only ground flaxseed allows your body to properly absorb the nutrients. Ideally, grind the seeds freshly before eating them to protect the sensitive omega-3 fatty acids from a process called oxidation. Now, there's one additional point you need to keep in mind. Flaxseed does contain small amounts of the heavy metal cadmium. But again, risk assessments show, and these risk assessments come, for example, from analysis in Denmark, that at normal consumption levels, the benefits clearly outweigh the risks. The exposure risk is considered negligible. So, let's finish with a short conclusion here. Yes, long-chain omega-3 fatty acids like EPA and DHA, they are essential to the human body. If you are looking for good fish oil or algae oil, you'll also find recommendations in the video description. But my message is clear here in this video. Stop viewing nutrition as isolated nutrients competing against each other. Start understanding foods holistically. And if you'd like to see more videos about underrated foods, leave a comment in the comment section below. And I hope that I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, I'm out for now. Thank you and bye.